You know what I wish? I wish our politicians could discuss arguments and issues in a calm, rational, civil manner. Instead, what we often get is a lot of name-calling, vitriol, harsh, caustic criticism, and a lot of ad hominem arguments instead of a cool, clear discussion of the issues. In other words, our politicians often attack each other instead of discussing the positions that they hold. For example, someone says, well, what would he know? After all, he never finished college. Well, that doesn't discuss the issue. That's an attack against the person. Or, I would expect that person to feel this way because he only lived in rural areas all of his life. Those are ad hominem arguments. They attack people instead of evaluating the positions that those people hold. I wish we could calmly and rationally evaluate positions instead of attacking people. This I know. That kind of treatment of people doesn't belong in the Lord's church. I know that you agree with me. We need to be able to discuss issues and topics of concern, even topics with which we disagree. We need to be able to discuss them in a calm, loving, kind way, and in ways in which we don't attack people, but we calmly evaluate issues. A few days ago, Suzanne and I published a vlog on praise teams. Susanna talked about how she likes praise teams. They help her to worship God. They help her to draw closer to God. I don't have a problem with praise teams. I think they're certainly biblical. They're just as biblical as having a solitary worship leader, I do believe. But I also express some hazards that come along with praise teams. I guess I should also add that they are hazards which also would apply to a solitary worship leader as well. Nonetheless, what I appreciated about that conversation is that we were able to discuss this issue, this topic of concern, in a calm manner without attacking each other. I wish it were that way in the church, and that, of course, is our goal, that we can discuss topics of concern in a kind way, in a loving way. Is there a need for such vitriol in the church? I don't think so. I know that you don't either. Of course, the danger of having that kind of discussion in the church is that it pushes people away from God. I'm quite sure there are people who have given up on having a relationship with God, or at least have given up on having a relationship with a church family, because they've seen the way people talk to each other in the church. They've seen the way they handle topics of concern and disagreements. And they say to themselves, well, if this is the way Christians treat each other, I don't want any part of it. And so my encouragement for us today is that we will discuss issues and topics of concern, that we will allow disagreement, and that we will discuss these disagreements in a civil, loving, Christian way.